Hi, Ashley here and welcome to Funky Fresh Food. It's another week on the Great British Bake Off, which means I'm attempting another technical challenge. This week it's everybody's favourite Dampfnudel. Let's see how it turns out. On my marks, get set, bake! So as you might have guessed already, I have no idea what a Dampfnudel is, and you probably don't either. So I've got the instructions here, and this is all I have to go on. So fingers crossed this won't turn out a massive disaster. So it looks like the basis of this is a sweet bread mixture. So to start this off, into a bowl I'm going to add our flour, yeast and sugar. To this I'll add the milk, eggs and melted butter and give it a mix with my hand until the mixture comes together. At this point, I'm going to tip it out onto a floured surface and knead it for around 5 to 10 minutes until it starts to become smooth and elastic. So the next thing it's telling me to do is add some lemon zest. So I'm going to grate this on top of our dough and then knead it in until it's all nicely incorporated. As this is a sweetened bread dough, it's going to need to prove, so I'm going to pop it in an oiled bowl, cover it in cling film and then leave it in my airing cupboard for around an hour, and hopefully at that point it will have doubled in size. Whilst that's happening, I'm going to crack on and make our plum sauce. I'm going to roughly chop up 4 ripe plums, add it to a saucepan along with the orange juice and sugar, and basically heat it up until the sugar's melted and bubble it away for around 10-15 minutes until the fruit's all mushed down and it's sort of thickened up a bit too. I'll take it off the heat then, add a pinch of cinnamon, and then once it's cooled down a bit more, I'm going to give it a blend with a stick blender so it's nice and smooth. Now my plum sauce is done, I'm going to crack on with the second sauce, which is a vanilla one, because Mr. Paul Hollywood is not content with giving the bakers just one sauce to tackle. I'll start this by heating milk and cream in a saucepan until it's just below boiling point. Into a large bowl I'll add the egg yolk, sugar, flour and vanilla bean paste and whisk it together until it's pale and fluffy. I'll gradually add the cream and milk mixture into this bowl, whisking continually. Once it's all combined, I'll pour it back into the saucepan, put it over a low heat for around 5 minutes, stirring continuously until it's thickened up and coats the back of a spoon. Now that the second sauce is done, I'm going to put it to one side with a bit of cling film over the top to stop a skin from forming. At this point, our dough should have doubled in size. After an hour, my dough hadn't quite risen as much as I wanted to, so I put it back into my airing cupboard for another half an hour, and then it had doubled in size. I'm going to knock back this dough, split it into 12, and then roll them into balls. Instead of baking in an oven, these balls are going to sort of steam away in a saucepan. So for this to happen, we're going to need a poaching liquid. This is made up from butter, milk and sugar. We're going to mix these together in a saucepan over a medium heat until they've all melted down and dissolved. At this point, we'll remove our pot from the heat, put our 12 balls into the poaching liquid so they're all touching the bottom of the pan. We'll leave this to stand for 15 minutes until the balls have doubled in size. Now we'll return our pan to the heat, pop a lid on and let it simmer away on a low to medium heat for 25 to 30 minutes. I've decided to leave mine for 30 minutes as I prefer to have an overcooked bun than an undercooked one. At this point we'll take the lid off the pot and let them bubble away for another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to do mine for 5 this time as I don't want them to burn on the bottom. Now we can remove our pot from the heat and serve our Dampfnudel with 2 sauces. So I've watched the Bake Off technical challenge now, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one that had no idea what a Dampfnudel was. That being considered, I think I did pretty well. My bread structure, I think it would have passed the Paul Hollywood finger test. It's got a nice sort of bread-like structure, and I think that's down to the extra proving time and also the extra steaming time before I took the lid off. I think it tastes pretty good too. And as Paul Hollywood insisted on making 2 sauces, I might as well try these too. Ooh, that plum sauce, super tangy, nice sweetness, a little hint of cinnamon as well, that's really good. Oh yeah. That vanilla-y, custardy, lovely sauce. I could drink that in a mug, that's delicious. Yeah, so I reckon I did pretty well in this week's technical challenge. I think I could have even be considered to be in the top 3. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you particularly enjoyed this week's video, then give me a thumbs up. And if you want to stay up to date with all my future videos, then please subscribe. I'm gonna work my way through the other 11 Dampfnudels now. Bye!